Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to this Thursday, the 19th day of March for 2026. Mike, Will, Tyson, and Havronic ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. A lot to talk about. Of course, today, the beginning of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Nebraska down in Oklahoma City getting ready to play Troy in an early morning game, 11:40 today. Game you'll be able to see on True TV. The Nebraska women's basketball team, they played in the first four of the women's tournament last night at Cameron Indoor Stadium, and Nebraska using a big third quarter to beat Richmond by the score of 72-56. So the Huskers will move on now. They'll play in the round of 64. They'll play 6-seeded Baylor on Friday in a ball game that gets underway at 1 o'clock. The Nebraska baseball team picking up a win for the second straight day over Wichita State on the road yesterday as the Huskers prepare to take on Michigan. We had a 3-game series this weekend on the road. Hastings College baseball team came back from a 6-0 deficit yesterday to beat Central Christian 10-9 on a walk-off single and a bases-loaded single by Cody Haynes in the ninth inning to win it. We'll talk about the Broncos here this morning. Hastings College women's basketball team, they're in Sioux City. They're going to play 6th-ranked St. Francis of Indiana tonight in the round of 16 at the NAIA National Tournament. High school baseball season gets underway today as Hastings High will play at Norse. We're going to try to effort Tim Stroman again, the Adams Central baseball coach. Trying to get him on yesterday, but had some phone difficulties. We'll get him on the horn today and talk with him. We got some comments coming up from Fred Hoiberg as we get ready to play basketball today for the Nebraska men. Nebraska women, Amy Williams will have a comment here coming up about the big third quarter last night for the Huskers. So all that and more is coming up. We got a special edition, the Blazing 5 today. So the plate is full as we get you up and get you going here on this Thursday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Game day on a work day. Feeling great. Can't wait to miss half the Husker game today. Other than that, being salty, I couldn't find any project for an audio tech class to deal with basketball, and it just, it would have been awesome if it was news and sports journalism, and I would have just flipped it and I'd been like, hey, let's watch basketball today and write me a story about it when it's done. I don't get that opportunity with the different class, so I'm just slightly salty to start off this morning. That's going to brush off. It'll be fine. Opening day of the tournament. This is Christmas on candy on a Christmas morning for a lot of us basketball fans out there. That first initial March Madness theme song hits slightly at around 11:30, and everything's just right with the world. Excited to get things underway today on the basketball front. Chiefs Challenge coming your way. I talked with Tim Stroman on the baseball side of things. For AC Baseball, we got a full plate, so we'll go ahead and dive right in.
Speaking of the NCAA tournament, one of the stars for Louisville, Michael Brown, is out for the first-round game against South Florida. He's got a back injury, and there's some mixed messaging on whether or not he'll be available for a potential second-round game if Louisville is able to beat South Florida in the opening round. The school announced that Brown would remain out for the rest of the week should the Cardinals advance to the round of 32, but the head coach, Pat Kelsey, would not comment on Brown's status beyond him not playing in Thursday's first-round game. And Brown said it was possible he could play over the weekend. Evidently, this guy has missed the last 4 games with the back injury, so it's not something that all of a sudden is going to maybe hinder Louisville. But this guy is averaging 18.2 points and 4.7 assists per game. Evidently, it's the same injury that kept him out of 8 games earlier this season. So Michael Brown Jr., if you have Louisville selected in the opening round against South Florida today. Hopefully you got the latest injury news before you made your selections. Louisville is going to be without one of their star players.
Is it almost like it's okay to wait until 10 o'clock to fill out a bracket?
No. Michael Brown. No, he's been out.
Easy.
He's been out for 4 games. So that's not going to change. That's not going to change your handicapping on Louisville and South Florida. This guy's been out for 4 games already, and he's missed 8 games before with the same injury. So Louisville, as is, they're going to play South Florida today. A couple other NFL notes. We'll quickly buzz through this stuff. The Philadelphia Eagles have acquired veteran quarterback Andy Dalton from the Panthers.
Jesus Christ.
In exchange for a 2027 seventh-round pick. Dalton, who is now 38, went 1-6 in 7 starts during his 3 seasons with Carolina, including 0-1 in 2025 when he was sacked 7 times in a 40-9 loss to your Buffalo Bills. The 15-year veteran has thrown for 39,793 yards in his career with 254 touchdowns and 151 interceptions. So Andy Dalton's life in the NFL continues as he's now a member of the Philadelphia Eagles.
What did he trade his 7th-round pick for? You could have got him for free. Wait till he hits free agency and just scoop him up for league men.
They give him a 7th-round pick for him. The Cleveland Browns are proposing a rule change that would allow NFL teams to trade draft picks 5 years into the future instead of 3. The league announced on Wednesday that only 2 teams submitted proposals that would be considered by owners at their league meetings later this month. That was one of them. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers are proposing a rule about contacting players during free agent negotiating periods. Evidently, the tush-push ban is not going to come up this year. That was brought up by the Green Bay Packers last year. It was narrowly defeated. Evidently, it's not going to come up this year, so the tush-push is probably here to stay.
Let's go.
There is no other on-field rule changes proposed by teams this year, although the competition committee will announce next week its proposed rule changes for next season, and then any changes need to be approved by at least 24 of the 32 teams. But teams are bringing up only 2 very minor changes in the rules. The Browns want to allow NFL teams to trade draft picks 5 years into the future instead of 3. And then the Steelers want to make a new rule about contacting players during the free agent negotiating period. So not a lot of changes expected in the NFL for next season. So
you mean you can't contact people while they're in a cave? Also, 5 years into the future, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing next week, let alone 5 years into the future. Can we rein that in a little bit? I think 3 years is plenty. 3 years is plenty. Because you're talking about the potential decimation of a franchise when you start giving up all your first-round picks 5 years from now, and you're like, well, let's win now, and then we don't have to worry about it 5 years from now. You do.
Well, yeah, a lot of times 5 years, the head coach, maybe the head man of football operations is not going to be even with the team in 5 years if you don't.
The guy you drafted is probably going to be shipped off somewhere too. Come on, Cleveland.
Yeah, so that's a couple of rule changes.
It's not like Cleveland, the epitome of all awesome draft franchises. Like, of all people that should be making a rule about the draft, Cleveland and the Jets should be on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's not like they have a leg to really stand on.
They don't. They do not have a leg.
So, anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. Again, Nebraska men will play at 11:40 this morning against Troy in the NCAA tournament. Last night, the Nebraska women, they went on a 17-0 run at the beginning of the third quarter and beat Richmond, the Spiders, in the first four matchup of the NCAA tournament. Huskers ended up outscoring Richmond in that third quarter 27-6. So Nebraska now 19-12 in the season. They'll play 6-seeded Baylor on Friday in the round of 64. Tip-off of that game will be at 1 o'clock. Husker head coach Amy Williams says halftime adjustments led to Nebraska's big third quarter.
We may have mentioned at halftime that we had 0 offensive rebounds at halftime, and just kind of talking about that. Was that the most complete effort that we could have given? And we just, with this opportunity, we do not ever want to look back and say, oh man, I had more to give. And I think they really took that to heart, came out there in that third quarter. One of our better defensive efforts then in the third quarter. We have a ton of respect for Richmond and the offense. I've been watching Miss Dugan play for a while and just admiring her game, but when you actually dive into preparing a scout for a team, you get a much deeper look at their team, and the respect we had for the way they run offense and have so many prolific three-point shooters. We knew we were going to have to guard that three-point line. I harped on, I do agree that Maya Hargrove did a really good job. They got to the free throw line too much in the first half, and we needed to be able to guard hard without fouling. And I thought, I still told them we gave up 11 threes and that, attempts, we were just talking about the attempts from the 3-point line that we wanted to take away. And I thought we kind of were able to buckle down and guard without fouling in that third quarter, and not giving up those free throws made a difference.
Yeah, so the Huskers knock off Richmond last night, 72-56. Brent Prince led the way, 22 points, 10 of 14 shooting last night. The Huskers got Richmond on a bad shooting night. The Spiders hit only 40% of their field goals in the game. They made just 4 of 23 from behind the arc. They entered the game ranked number 2 in the nation in three-pointers per game, number 9 in the nation in three-point percentage, and number 24 in the nation in field goal percentage. But they didn't have any luck last night against the Huskers at Cameron Indoor Stadium. So Nebraska, 19-12 in the season. They'll play 16 at Baylor on Friday in the round of 64. Tip-off of that game will be at 1 o'clock. So Husker women got her done. We'll see if the Husker men can get her done today. Our $10,000 bracket challenge is going on. We got everybody signed up. In fact, we had a good response. Everybody's going after the $10,000 to hit 60 or more games. We'll give you $10,000. I got my bracket filled out late last night. I had a baseball yesterday, and I had a full night of filling out brackets and getting things situated for my trip to Sioux City. As long as we got time here, do you have your bracket handy? You have your bracket that you submitted handy?
I do.
Okay, let's you go to the final four.
Where do you want to start?
Yeah, give me your final four.
Duke, Arizona, Illinois, Iowa State.
Okay, I've got Duke and Arizona.
Two Big 12 teams.
Yeah, I've got Duke and Arizona with Florida and Michigan in my final four.
So you took all 1 seeds?
I don't know.
Yeah, you took all 1 seeds.
And then I've got Duke and Michigan in the national championship game, with Duke winning the title.
Michigan scares me. Michigan scares me, and here's why. They looked like trash when they were playing competitive basketball. And what do I mean by that, Mike? Like, all season long, they were in cruise control, right? They were one of the best basketball teams put together. We saw it when we went up there and played them. Michigan's damn good. And I thought we were really competitive against them. When they were in tight situations down the stretch in a fist fight with teams, they didn't look too good. And Purdue really exposed them in that way. I thought even in their quarterfinal matchup and their semifinal matchup, Michigan was kind of hanging on. That concerns me moving into the field of 64 because, quite frankly, once you get to the round of 32, if you're Michigan, every game is going to be a fist fight. And I don't know if they have, just based on how their schedule played out, the ability to go all 40 and be in a tight contest, one possession game down the stretch and figure out how to win those games because they haven't had to all year because they've been so damn good.
So who do you got? Who do you got in the national championship game?
I got Duke and Arizona. Yeah.
Do you like Duke?
Of course.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that early in the week that you were riding the Duke bandwagon. So you and I both have Duke on our bracket. I did fill out one additional bracket.
Did you make a second one too?
Yeah, I made a second one.
Is this all Nebraska?
No, this is kind of the gut feeling bracket.
Ooh.
I threw away all these statistics that I had, and I filled out a gut feeling bracket.
Okay.
And in my gut feeling bracket, my final four teams are Michigan State,
Sure.
Florida, Arizona, and Iowa State, with Michigan State playing Arizona in the championship and Arizona winning the title. That's my gut feeling bracket is Arizona as the national champion. And my statistical bracket, I've got Duke winning the national championship.
I hope Stats win that argument. But, a gut feeling with Tom Izzo having success in March isn't a bad gut feeling. Tom Izzo is kind of one of the guys that just kind of figures it out this time of year. A handful of coaches, really, in college basketball, I'd throw Self in that conversation, that just know how to win in March, right? And Tom Izzo's done it for so long at the same school that it wouldn't surprise me. I have Michigan State in the Elite Eight, right? Like, I just have them getting beat, I think, by Illinois in that final four spot. So, yeah, Michigan State wouldn't surprise me if they were in the conversation come early April.
So hopefully you got your bracket into us. Again, we're paying $10,000 if anybody can hit 60 or more games in a tournament. If one person does that, we'll give them $10,000. So if two people hit 60 games or more, we'll split the pot. I have a $10,000 pot waiting here, and I'd like to award that. And obviously, we've got cash prizes. We've got some other merchandise we'll be giving away for the top four point getters in our $10,000 Extreme Sports bracket pool. And again, we've got cash. We've got some coolers. We've got gift cards to Bullseye and to Miscues and to District 14 beer and pizza out of the west part of town. We've got 4 clubhouse tickets to Fauner Park. That's Crane Gardens up in the Grand Island donated to us. We've got Moletta Vista wines that we're going to be giving away. So that's all for the top 4 point gatherers in our bracket challenge. And again, if you can hit 60 games or more, you don't even have to pick the national champion. Yeah, you don't even have to pick the national champion. If you get 60 games correct before you get to the championship game, you can sit back and just wait for a knock on the door from Mike and the bookkeeper to give you $10,000. So hopefully you got your bracket into us. Husker basketball talk. Let's get to that because our second half of the show is going to be jammed. We've got a special edition of Blazing 5 today. It's the Chiefs Challenge. One of our faithful listeners gave Tyson and myself a challenge, and we accepted the challenge as a special edition of Blazing 5. We're going to give you 5 upsets in the opening round of the tournament today. That's going to be our special edition of Blazing 5. That's the Chiefs Challenge. We're going to give you 5 upsets to look for today and tomorrow in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
And not only do I have his 5 picks, I have his 5 picks with commentary.
Oh, really?
So he's going in and he's dove to the analysis as to his 5 picks.
Yeah, he didn't want to join us today.
Yeah, he had meetings.
Screw the meetings. It's It's the opening round of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I tried to tell that to my boss, too. Didn't work.
Why would you schedule a meeting for a Thursday at the beginning of the NCAA tournament? Of course, I'm going to Sioux City today.
Work day.
I'm going to be listening, obviously, to the Husker game on my way to Sioux City.
Yeah, why would you schedule
Nebraska
a road trip?
playing Troy today, 11:40 starting time. 11:40 starting time down in Oklahoma City. Head coach Fred Hoiberg met the media yesterday, and he says, obviously, the Huskers looking forward to the game today.
We're really excited to be here in Oklahoma City. Great arena, unbelievable fan base here in OKC, and just the opportunity to compete at this time of year. This, to me, is what it's all about, going all the way back to our early workouts in June when we put this group together, all the work that they put in with the strength coach, the early mornings, the ups and downs, the highs and lows that you go through over your journey, and it's all designed for this time of year. This is the fun time of the season, and our guys have done an unbelievable job this year of keeping their focus, really have done a good job of not getting ahead of themselves. We understand what's at stake at this time of year and what's at stake for Nebraska. I know the first question is going to be Nebraska's never won a tournament game. We realize that. Have I talked to our players about it? No, I haven't. They know. They see it. And is there pressure that goes along with that? Of course there is. But as I've said to the team, pressure is a privilege. It's what it's all about, to go out there and do the things we've been doing all year. We've prepared the same for this game as we have for every game this season with what we've gone out and tried to accomplish to get ourselves ready to play a really good basketball team. Unbelievably well coached. Coach Cross does an amazing job. 5 20-win seasons in a row. It's a winning culture, and they play extremely hard, and they play unselfish, and they play for each other. So, important in these early games of getting off to a good start, and we're going to have a great crowd here, and we need to get our fans behind us early in this one. But we're excited to be here, and we're excited for the opportunity to compete.
And speaking of that crowd, the coach says that big Nebraska contingent can help the Huskers in the game today.
It'll be huge. And, I'm guessing that caravan is coming down from Lincoln, from the entire state, all the alum that will show up. They did it in Memphis a couple years ago. And it helps. Obviously, it helps at this time of year, especially in the early start time, to get out there and have the energy of your fan base behind you. And whatever happens, listen, adversity is going to hit us at some point in this game tomorrow. But having, a fan base like we're going to have will help us through that. But again, it's our job. It's our job to get off to a good start, to get the crowd behind us. But whatever happens, we got to stick with it. We got to execute, and we have to stay disciplined.
And what would it mean for the coach to pick up Nebraska's first ever tournament victory?
Great question, because this program does mean a lot to me because of my family's history. And my grandfather was the head coach for 9 seasons at the University of Nebraska. I was born in Lincoln. My parents both got their degrees from the University of Nebraska. I've got a lot of family in the state. And, my grandpa Hoiberg was a sociology professor at Nebraska for 30 years. So this place means a lot to me. And, 2 programs, Iowa State and Nebraska, and I've been fortunate enough to be the head coach at both places. And it would mean a lot to our family. It would mean even more to our fans. And, again, they're going to show up. They expect a lot out of this team, as they should. This team has been very easy to root for all season long because of their makeup and how they've approached everything with what you have to accomplish in your daily battles. So, yes, it would mean a lot for our family. And, we're going to throw everything we have. It's all about competing and again, fighting through that adversity that we have to do at this time of season if you want to advance.
All right, that's Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg. Again, Nebraska will play Troy today at 11:40 on True TV. If they win that game, they'll move on to play on Saturday against either Vanderbilt or McNeese State. Those 2 teams will play today. So the Huskers up against Troy today, again, 11:40 on True TV. NCAA basketball from last night. Miami of Ohio, they beat SMU by the score of 89-79. So Miami of Ohio is moving on. Prairie View A&M, they beat Lehigh in the other game last night, 67-55. So Prairie View A&M is moving on. Miami of Ohio, they win. The team that my partner has been on their case.
Great.
Been on their case for 3 weeks. They shouldn't be in the NCAA tournament. They haven't played anybody.
Great. They played one team.
All right, and they won.
A mediocre last four in SMU team. Yeah, they beat them.
Bet they beat them. They're moving on. All right, you told me yesterday.
You beat the 60th ranked team in the country.
If Miami of Ohio won, that you might move them on in your bracket. Did you?
I had to lock in my bracket yesterday before the game started because I was working last night. So I had to get it in. Otherwise, I would have missed the deadline.
So you didn't move Miami of Ohio through?
That did not move Miami of Ohio through. They are getting beat in the first round.
All right, so Miami of Ohio wins. Prairie View A&M, they win the play-in game. So, yeah, let it start. NCAA basketball tournament gets underway. Today we're going to have our Blazing 5 picks, a part of our Chiefs Challenge here in just a few minutes. Tim Stroman is expected to join us, the Adams Central baseball coach, as the Patriots get ready to open their season tomorrow with a tough one at Wayne. We'll talk some Patriot baseball coming up and a whole lot more as you wake up, get going here with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start at the state capitol, where Nebraska lawmakers have removed about $3.5 million from the private school voucher program from the state budget. This was the one that voters said no, but they found a loophole in a federal bill anyway. The move came from the legislature's Appropriations Committee, led by Senator Robert Clements, as lawmakers worked to close a projected budget shortfall. Supporters of the vouchers criticized the decision, saying it limits school choice, while opponents argued the funding should not be prioritized during a deficit. The proposal now heads to the full legislature as debate on budget negotiations continue. Meanwhile, a rule that I feel like should have been a rule a long time ago that is just now being discussed. U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts is backing a Senate version of a bill aimed at limiting stock trading by members of Congress. Yeah. The proposal would ban lawmakers, their spouses, and dependent children from buying individual stocks while in office, though they could keep current holdings. Any planned sales would have to publicly be disclosed in advance. Supporters say the measure is designed to restore public trust and prevent lawmakers from profiting off insider information. Yeah, it's kind of a big one. Bill also includes financial penalties for any violations and serves as a companion piece to a similar piece of legislation that's already been introduced in the House. 7:29 now. Let's head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
The Nebraska women's basketball team opened the third quarter with a 17-0 run. They beat Richmond 72-56 last night in the first four matchup of the NCAA tournament. Huskers outscored Richmond 27-6 in the third quarter. Brent Prince led the way, 22 points on 10 of 14 shooting. Nebraska now 19-12. They'll play 60 to Baylor on Friday in the round of 64. Tip-off will be at 1. The Nebraska men's basketball team will play Troy today in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Oklahoma City. Tip-off will be at 11:40 this morning on True TV. The Nebraska baseball team beat Wichita State 10-1 yesterday in Wichita. Nebraska scored 4 runs in the first inning and never looked back. Jeter Worthley went 3 for 5 at the plate with 2 doubles and 4 runs scored. Bryce Bender tossed 4 innings and allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 3, walked 2. Nebraska is now 16-5 in the season. They'll play a 3-game series at Michigan coming up this weekend. Hastings College baseball team came back from a 6-0 deficit to beat Central Christian 10-9 yesterday out of Duncan Field. Cody Haynes won it with a bases-loaded single in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tristan Martinez went 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs. Ryder Derwin pitched 1 inning of relief with 2 strikeouts to pick up the win. Hastings is now 12-9 in the season. They'll play host to Dakota Wesleyan in a doubleheader on Friday beginning at 4. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 3:45. Hastings College women's basketball team will play 6th-ranked St. Francis of Indiana tonight in a round of 16 at the NAIA National Tournament in Sioux City. The Cougars are led by sophomore standout Callie Gregory, who leads the team with 472 points while shooting 51.8% from the floor and 45.3% from three-point territory. Tip-off for the game tonight will be at 8 p.m. It's the final game, the first day up there in Sioux City, so game time could be a little shaky, but hang in there. We'll have the game for you sometime tonight. 8 o'clock scheduled tip-off time. Pre-game show 7:45 here on Extreme Sports. 7:31. That's a check on your sports headlines here at Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Beautiful weather coming on Thursday with not much wind, which will be a nice change. Plenty of sunshine and a high near 80 degrees. We'll have a north-northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, low of 46, mostly clear skies. Sunshine continues as we head into the weekend. Friday, a high of 82 degrees, all the way up to the 90s on Saturday. And then as we come out of the weekend, windy and a high in the 50s. That's a check of your forecast. Have a great day and enjoy the beautiful weather.
As you wake up, get going this morning, northwest winds at 7. Partly cloudy, it's 44 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give us a call at 308-991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hams.com.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick with you. It's a Thursday morning, the 19th day of March for 2026. Again, we'll have some basketball tonight. Hastings College and St. Francis of Indiana from the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. Round of 16. Hastings and St. Francis tonight, 8 o'clock tip-off time, 7:45 for the pregame show here on Extreme Sports. It's 7:34. We tried to get Tim Stroman on yesterday, but had some phone issues. We've got him on this morning. Good morning, Tim Stroman, as you join us here on Huddle Up.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Hey! Yay! Kudos to the IT guy. He got everything fixed.
Good. He got the phones fixed. I got my 3D printer fixed to get Tyson's third-page plaque printed out this year.
That's how we're starting the show. That's how we're starting this conversation.
As the weeks gone by, I just keep getting more ramped up and ramped up.
We struggle to find a prize for the guys that are on the third page of our bracket challenge. Hell, as many people as we got in the challenge here this year, he might be on page 4. You never can tell.
Kind of thinking I'm either going to get him a Miami of Ohio program or print him out something. I'm not sure which one yet.
This conversation is quickly becoming a confrontation.
All right, the Adams Central baseball team getting ready to open up their season tomorrow at Wayne. Let's just talk about this final week of preparation, Coach. We had you on last week, kind of took a preview of the Patriots for the upcoming year. How is the final week? Are you guys ready to finally see somebody different?
We're ready, and we've looked really, really sharp the last 3 weeks of practice, and yesterday you could kind of just see it in the guys. We're ready to play somebody. It gets to be a point where you need a game, and we're at that point. But the guys are looking sharp. They're ready to roll. They're all looking good. We've implemented a couple new base running techniques that we kind of studied during the off season, and just trying to add a little bit more. It's tough to say this, but aggressiveness to our base running. And I think with some of this new implementation that we're putting in, these guys are going to be even better on the base pass this year.
Coach, talk about the aggression on the base paths, and you set a lot of records a season ago when it came to stolen bases and when it came to creating chaos on the base paths, as we like to say. You mentioned it. Is there any room to grow on the aggression standpoint, and how are you implementing that?
It's a tough question. But offense was stagnant last year, and in my opinion, there is always room to grow if there is certain aspects. And we really studied catcher timing and the length to get the ball back to the pitcher. We've studied different base running techniques from second base. It's more of a shorter lead with a moving lead, so your momentum's already going. And a lot of this. You guys know I watch a lot of film and a lot of tape and do a lot of stuff during the off season. And just right there, from stationary to movement, you're gaining an extra, 0.3 to 0.4 of a second. And when our guys are already in that kind of green zone as it is, give yourself even more of an advantage. And this might not be something we have met right away because it is tough. It is tough to get the timing down. And I want to make sure that we're not being reckless. And because that's I talk to these guys all the time. We want to be aggressive as much as we can, but we never want to be reckless. And they're starting to learn what the difference is on that. And it's fun to see them develop. When I first came in, now it's year 3, and they know what to expect. And they know what we're going to do. And they know what we're going to work on. And they're working really, really hard at it.
Again, they're talking with Tim Stroman, the head baseball coach out at Adams Central. The Patriots getting ready to open their season tomorrow at Wayne. He and I were texting back and forth a bit earlier this week, setting up the interview, Coach. Your first part of their schedule is extremely tough. You're going to see a lot of ranked teams right out of the chute here, and it starts with Wayne tomorrow.
Yeah, we have Wayne, who's, I think, ranked 4 or 5, depending on what you look at. We have Guardian Angel Central Catholic, who's going to be a lot like St. Paul was last year. They have a lot of returners. They're good athletes. They might not all be the best baseball players, but they're going to fight you. They're in the top 10. We have St. Paul next week, who's in the top 10. We have Crete, who's both in the top 10, and then potentially Gretna East, who won Class B state last year. So I think that's the way we intend to design this. We want to challenge ourselves. We want to push ourselves to get better each day. And in my mind, what better way to do that than to play the best available?
Coach, when you take a look, you talk about best available, and it looks like that's going to be kind of a key here in Class C once again. You look up and down the preseason rankings, and it's a lot of the familiar faces, really well-established high school baseball programs here in Class C. Your Malcolms, your Central City Centuras, Wayne up there, Mount Michael again, and Adams Central. And you've managed to put yourself in this conversation with some of these Class C high school baseball programs in just a short amount of time. So kudos on that. But once again, just a field of heavy hitters here if we're going to navigate through Class C this season.
It is. And you run across Class C, those top 5 are always solid. You know, we open with Wayne, and that's become this just heated rivalry. I mean, they've knocked us out of districts. We knocked them out of state last year. Luckily, when they knocked us out of districts, the kids were able to maintain their discipline throughout the year and earn a wild card position. But, yeah, it's these top 5, you always know that they're going to be well coached. They're going to be well prepared. That's not just for those 5. I mean, a lot of people might have this mantra, oh, well, it's Class C, blah, blah, blah. There's some good baseball at Class C. Now, it might not be the depth that you see at Class B and Class A, but starting 9 on the field, there's some good baseball at Class C. And I've always pushed on these kids. We have to be disciplined from the first pitch of every game to the last pitch of every game. There's no opponent. Every game that doesn't matter. Every opponent matters. The year, we snuck into wild card, I complimented them on their discipline because we play games where throughout our schedule, it would be easy to maybe mentally take a day off. And if you do that, that could be the difference of, your team making the postseason and not making the postseason. So all the compliments on these last 2 years go to the kids. And in my opinion, they're disciplined to stay focused and play our game and not let the length of the season or, in the case of our first weekend, a 3-hour bus trip up to Wayne, a 3-hour bus trip back, wake up the next morning, go 3 hours right back up to West Point. So just being able to maintain that discipline throughout the year is extremely important, and I know these kids are tough enough to do that.
All right, so a tough start to the season here for AC schedule-wise. Any special message, Coach, as we begin another season? I know there's a lot of high expectations again for Adams Central baseball. Any special message for the team this week as you get ready to open another season?
Just stay true in the classroom so you can enjoy it on the field. I mean, this is something we all look forward to, and it starts in the classroom with these guys, and I want to give them a huge pat on the back. This is one of the first, we don't have a single player that has below a C on their grade reports, so it's nothing that we have to worry about. And, they signed a code of conduct with us at the beginning, and we're really strict with their behavior in the classroom, their behavior outside the classroom, and what they do in the classroom, because if they're not successful and they can't cut it in the classroom, they're not going to have a shot to even play because, they are student athletes and students comes first. And it's just another big pat on the back to them that they're able to be as successful in the classroom and as successful on the field. And that's what you want to see, in my opinion, as a coach. It makes you feel good that, your kids are good, upstanding kids, that they're representing their school, that they're representing their program. And they're not only doing that on the field, but they're doing that in their everyday lives. So I just want to wish all the other coaches and teams a happy, healthy start of the season. I know this is something every single one of us has been waiting for. I'm looking forward to it so I can actually watch some new tape, too. I'm sick of watching all these old games, Mike.
Yeah, Timmy, have you watched all your opponents, Coach, already this season? Going back to last year, you get the tapes out and you don't have anything to do during the off season, so you sit down and watch tape all off season. Have you seen anybody? Seen everybody that's on your schedule?
So I have, and I brought in just our charts the other day to show Coach Pratt, and a couple of our players asked me, "What's that?" And I showed them. And they couldn't believe it. It's every single – so the guys that we play this weekend, Louisville, GAC, and Wayne, I've watched every single one of every at-bat that they've had, all three teams. And that's not something that, I share unless you guys are asking me, but it's just, the kids have to prepare. And in my mind, the coaches have to prepare too. And when we call the pitches and put the shifts on the players, I'm hoping that that's taking just a little bit of pressure off of them, so they can just go play. We can coach, we can adjust the defense, we can call your pitches, we can put you in the best position possible to be successful, and you just go out and play. So yes, Mike, I have, and some of them it's tough to get through, but I do it.
Timmy, you're getting ready for opening weekend. I guess the last question from me. Opening day, the butterflies, the feeling, the anticipation. You've been through a lot of opening weekends from the high school baseball standpoint. Does feeling ever get old?
It doesn't. I love it. I had the same feeling when I was umpiring, too. Like, you get to the field, the weather's nice, in the most part. When you get to the field, the weather's not nice. That might be a different feeling. But when you get to the field, the weather's nice. You see the excitement. I mean, it's awesome. It's one of the best feelings in the world. It's tough to explain, and people might think I'm crazy, but if you've actually experienced it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And that's one other thing we're trying to push this week. I know Wayne is a big opponent. They're always tough. They've turned into our rivalries, but we still have to find that happy median of being, the butterflies, the excitement, and not getting too ramped up, because in reality, it is the first game of 27. And you and I both know baseball, never, ever, I don't care if it's first game, 27th game, 167th game, nothing's going to go exactly as planned. So we have to, contain our emotions, play our game, and enjoy it and have fun, the most important part.
All righty, Coach. Good luck this weekend. We'll meet up with you again next week and get you on the air here next week. Looking forward to another exciting season of Patriot baseball.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. And Tyson, I'll get that 3D printer warmed up for you. Just let me get the filament, and we'll
print
get
off my fantasy
nice
baseball championship trophy too while you're at it. Print off my fantasy baseball trophy.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Waiting for it. All right, guys. You guys have a good day. We'll see ya.
All right, that's Tim Stroman, the head baseball coach out at Adams Central. Again, the Patriots opening up their season tomorrow at Wayne. They'll play again in an old triangular on Saturday, so a lot of baseball coming up for Adams Central. Checking some of the social media things coming in on our message board. Ryan Martin is jamming us again. He's getting ready to watch Banana Ball this summer.
Getting ready to watch Banana Ball. I think Ryan forgot to put his champion in, too. He's one of those that doesn't have a champion, so I texted him last night. I'm like, hey, you should put a champion in your bracket challenge.
Yeah, we'll get that handled here
texted
today.
Me this morning. Oops.
Amber, she's down in Oklahoma City already. They're getting ready to head over to meet the players on their send-off at their hotel as they get ready to head to the arena this morning.
What's with our live lobby just pouring salt on us today? Hey, I'm going to Banana Ball, you two losers. Hey, I'm going to Oklahoma City while you guys are driving and have to work. Our live lobby's twisting the knife a little bit.
Yeah, they're down in Oklahoma City getting ready to go watch the players and leave their hotel and head to the arena. It's about that time. Anyway, we've got a special Blazing Five today.
You'll fire it up.
The Chief has challenged us with the Blazing Five. He wants us to pick 5 upset winners in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So without further ado,
let's do it.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. Goodness, your records are written balls of fire.
It's time for the Extreme Sports Blazing 5.
God, it's good to hear that music again. And yeah, this is great. 5 upsets that you can look for in the first round of the NCAA tournament. I'll start things off. Hopefully, this goes better than my football predictions this year. I would just like to have 3 of these hit. If I can go 3-2 on these upsets.
You want a winning record.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. You always look to the 12-5 matchup, don't you?
Ooh, there you go.
You always look for a 12-5 matchup. Now, one of those matchups I like. Akron, the Akron Zips.
From the MAC.
They have won 19 games in a row. They're going to be facing Texas Tech today.
Wow.
A number 12 versus 5 matchup. I'm going to be on Akron today. Give me Akron. The Akron Zips is my first upset special. 11th ranked or 11th seeded Virginia Commonwealth is playing 6th seeded North Carolina today. I've seen North Carolina a couple of times here late. Have not been impressed. Give me 11th seeded Virginia Commonwealth to upset North Carolina in the first round.
I don't hate it.
Number 11 or 11 seeded South Florida is playing 6th seeded Louisville. We told you that Michael Brown is not going to play today for Louisville. Give me South Florida today to upset Louisville.
Okay.
So that's 3. My 4th pick is going to be 13th seeded Hofstra.
The Pride.
To beat Alabama.
Hell yes.
The number 13 seed has won in 28 of the last 40 NCAA tournaments.
That's pretty good odds.
So I'll take 13th seeded Hofstra today over Alabama. And my final upset special in the Chiefs Challenge, I'm going to take 14th seeded Penn to beat 3rd seeded Illinois today. Penn is
from the Ivy?
No, they're on fire from 3-point range, they tell me.
From the Ivy?
It's the perfect upset formula. A team that is red hot from the outside. So I'm going to take Penn. So my upset specials this week in the first round of the NCAA tournament give me 12th-seeded Akron, 11th-seeded Virginia Commonwealth, 11th-seeded South Florida, 13th-seeded Hofstra, and 14th-seeded Penn, the Quakers, as my upset specials.
I want to say the Quakers are coached by Fran McCaffrey. I think that's right. I think that's where he landed. So that's not a bad shout. Okay. I went a lot safer. I did some 8-9s in here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Way to go out on the limb.
I played the pitching wedge. You took the driver out. I do like Utah State in their 8-9 matchup in the western side. Hold on. I pulled my freaking bracket. It's loading. Load faster. Utah State, 9 seed. They are... Sweet Jesus. How many times do we have to refresh? Okay, there we go. Now we're ready. 8-9 seed. Against Villanova. Utah State looks really good. The other 9 seed I like, the St. Louis Billikens. Going up against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Wow.
St. Louis, they were destined for really, really good things this season. They started off like super red hot. Kind of had a little stubbing of the toe midway through. Fell out in the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament, but God, I believe in the Billikens. So give me St. Louis as the 9 seed. Not to be outdone, staying in the Show Me State, we'll just move a little further over to Columbia. The Missouri Tigers. I like them in their matchup as the 7-10 matchup against Miami. So give me Missouri in the 10-7 matchup. Then we should probably do a 12 seed. You like the 12-5s. You like the Akron Zips. I'm going to go on a team that has pulled off an upset in the past, that has already weared wore, let's use proper English on the show, wore the Cinderella slipper, and that's out of the old Missouri Valley, Arch Madness. Let's take Northern Iowa in their matchup against St. John's. I've crapped on St. John's every year they've been in the tournament. I'm going to do it again this year. The Big East is not as strong as it once was, and I feel that they're vulnerable today against Northern Iowa. In my final matchup, upset special, I am rolling with the Hofstra Pride as well in that matchup against Alabama. And then stay tuned, they might go a second round come next week's Chiefs Challenge.
Hofstra?
They are my Cinderella special for 2026, the Hofstra Pride. Let's get to Chiefs really quick. This is the Chiefs Challenge, so we should probably give you the Chiefs picks. Chief, with additional commentary. South Florida over Louisville. Louisville without star point guard and second leading scorer Michael Brown. He likes the Bulls. Gig'em. He likes Texas A&M over St. Mary's, the 10 seed. Aggies have had a good job this year in all of their sports. Basketball will win at least one game. Chief is on with my Mizzou Tigers. Main reason, and I quote, Miami just sucks. Mike Mitchell used to play for Duke, still a good player for the Tigers. He played in Grand Island in 2022 at the Heartland Hoops Classic. This guy's got fun facts. McNeese State over Vanderbilt.
Uh-oh.
He has taken a 12 seed over a 5 seed, which would clear a path forward for Nebraska, I'd think. Always pick a 12 seed to upset a 5 seed. March Madness is great. Then he's got Tennessee loses to whoever they play. Tennessee has lost 3 of their last 5 games coming into March Madness. Tennessee is playing Miami, Ohio, so he's taking the Red Hawks.
Wow, he's on McNeese State.
That's a curveball that I was not anticipating.
That is a bold pick there, Chief.
We went 3 12 seeds. Between the 3 of us, we picked 3 different 12 seeds.
Well, that's what always happens, a 5 versus 12.
But I'm a little concerned that we're all 3 on different 12 seeds.
It could happen. It could be one of those tournaments.
Yeah, I tried to predict this tournament last year. I was just looking into the future. This is going to be the year of all the upsets because my bracket went primarily chalk. The Midwest, I'll tell you, I'll give you a preview. My Midwest is screwy. I don't know how to navigate it. I don't like any of the top seeds. That's the one that I have Iowa State coming out of. It's soft. Michigan being the overall number 1 seed, I think they are on danger. They are on watch to be upset this tournament, upset early.
All right, so there you go. There's our little tournament preview. Again, action gets underway for the Huskers at 11:40. We're giving you $10,000 if you hit 60 or more games. That means you can miss 3 games. You can miss 3 games in the tournament. Mm-hmm. What's the chances that we get together tomorrow morning on this show that we have anybody in contention after the opening day? Can you go through the opening round today and not miss 3 games? I think you can.
Yeah, I think. Do you have the number off the top of your head? How many entrants do we have?
Approaching 200 or just over 200.
I'll say 25% are still alive.
So you're saying 50 people will still be alive?
30%.
All right.
30%.
We'll try to keep our eyeballs on that. I'll be in Sioux City tomorrow doing the show, so but that's all right. I'll be in Sioux City for Hastings College basketball. You'll be here. Jim Sliker will be joining us again for our Pony Talk tomorrow. But let's roll on. 7:59. We got to take one more break. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
Trouble's brewing at Elbow Bend, and somebody's about to get fleeced. This is Mick with Miletta Vista Winery announcing our mystery dinner tickets are now on sale for the Golden Fleecing. Wild West murder mystery. So get your tickets at Maleta Vista Winery's events page. Come dressed as your best cowboy or saloon girl garb. Enjoy a great meal, a glass or two of hooch, and help solve the crime before the night's over. But watch your back, buddy. The outlaw might be sitting at your table. The Golden Fleecing Mystery Dinner at Maleta Vista Winery, March 28th, April 18th.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Again, we'll have Hastings College basketball for you tonight here on Extreme Sports from the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. Hastings College will play 6th-ranked St. Francis of Indiana tonight in the round of 16 at the national tourney. Scheduled tip-off will be at 8 tonight on the air with a pregame at 7:45. So you can catch the Huskers at 11:40 this morning on True TV. And then join us for Hastings College basketball tonight here on Extreme Sports beginning at 7:45. There's going to be a lot of people probably calling in sick today, catching the first round of the tournament. Remember when we worked for the remember when we worked for the other organization?
Oh man, I'm getting flush here. I'm getting pale. There's something scratchy in my throat. Oh, what? All of a sudden, just.
Yeah, you better call your school and say you can't teach today. Not feeling well, and you don't want to.
There's no way. There is no way they don't see through that bullshit.
Well, tell them you don't want to pass the germs along.
There is no way they don't see right through that disguise. Because it doesn't help that I already went to their office right at the beginning of the week, and I go, "Hey, we're not working Thursday, right?" And they're like,
"Oh,
no,
that's the first mistake you made."
I went in full rampage mode.
You need to sneak it in and start showing signs that you're getting ill about Tuesday afternoon.
No, because here's what happens. And I believe in karma, man. I used to play that whole sick game, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I just kind of want to watch SportsCenter this morning. And, whether it was a kid or even as an early adult in the workforce, every time that I pretended to be sick or would fake sick to play hooky, I actually then got sick and was miserable for the very events that I wanted to go do. So I don't play karma anymore. Karma has won 3-0, and that's the final score.
Shane has chimed in. He's got it figured out. Early lunches today. Yeah, with the game tipping off at 11:40 on True TV. Maybe head out to lunch at 11:30 and don't come back till about 1. Take an early lunch and then be late getting back from lunch.
In what universe are we only going to have a 1-hour basketball game?
An hour and a half.
It's March. Commercial breaks.
Yeah. But
this thing won't get over till 2:30.
You'll have a good idea on whether or not we're going to be in this game or not by then. You can listen to it on your computers when you get back to the office at 1 o'clock. And you've already had your hour and a half lunch. Or hell, if you got personal time off, just take a couple of hours off after 11:30. Or the rest of the day off.
Most people just can play hooky, but there's others that are just stuck. I'm stuck.
All right, so if you'd like to listen to the show again, our take on basketball, our comments from Fred Hoiberg, our comments from Amy Williams, and our interview we had with Tim Stroman out at Adams Central. Download the podcast and listen to the show at your convenience today. Make plans to be here tomorrow morning at 7. We'll talk horse racing tomorrow with Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network and recap the opening day of the NCAA basketball tournament. Hopefully we still have some folks alive for our $10,000 payout in the $10,000 Extreme Sports Bracket Challenge. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Again, I'll be in Sioux City tomorrow. Got the Hastings College game tonight, so we'll spend the night again in Sioux City. kind of like my second home. I need to just rent an apartment up there. I'm up there so much. Anyway, the show tomorrow at 7. Make plans to be here. Have yourself a great day. And cheer on the Huskers. Go Big Red.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.